short.
High, low, high, low.
Tapping it too short.
Okay.
Type 12, your fit up sucks.
No. Tacks are too short. B, something's on the table like spatter, and you can get high-low on the surface. Or C, you got one landing slightly bigger than another. Right? All right.
Or you mix
I just threw that out there for what, Jared?
or you mix up your plates.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, we had one guy, I'm not gonna say who used a piece of 3/8 and a piece of quarter. Jared was that guy. And look at how good he is now, because he learned to pay what, Jared?
Attention.
That's right. I threatened to cut his hair is why he stepped up. Didn't I, Jared?
You guess so?
I was like, I brought the scissors that day. Okay, now, if your root pass worked in flats, like Greg's and Chavez's, you are never to change your fit up again, or your settings, your landing, your opening, your travel speed, right? In theory, you guys have it what? Down. The rest of you guys, Burrell, if you got excessive pin on your root and flat, what are you gonna do on your horizontal? Make your game of what? Adjustment. So what did I say excessive pin's caused by?
Too wide.
Too wide of an opening,
Too
too
hot.
small of a landing, or you're too hot, or possibly your travel speed is too slow. Correct. See how these are all flashcards? And I keep going over and over with you, right? Okay, you're allowed to tack these coupons in the flat position, right? So you're gonna tack them flat, but then you're gonna stand them up, right? Okay, now, I told you guys we always do a pull versus a push. Why, Ivan?
For penetration wise.
What about it? Think about what you're saying before you throw it out. I know you guys want to answer right away, but sometimes be quiet and think. 20 seconds later, answer the question. So Ivan, why do you want to do a pull versus a push on a root pass? Think about it first. Don't just be so quick to throw it out there. If you can't get it, you can phone Cruz.
I don't know if I'm right.
I got you, bro.
Why do we
Seconds, man.
pull versus push?
Pull, you get penetration, it crowns up. Push, you get a flatter weld.
That's right, and we're looking for more buildup on the backside, are we not? That's why you pull. Secondly, if you try to push a root pass, you will get whiskers on the backside. That's why we pull. It's gonna give us more root reinforcement, and it's gonna give us no whiskers, right? Cruz has already told you guys, put more travel angle on the root than you do any other weld, right? So it shoots into the puddle and it won't go through the fit up. So, when I'm doing the root pass, what kind of travel angle? Tell me when, Jonah, the root pass. Remember, Hackney's right-handed, so I go left to right. Tell me when on the root.
There.
I'd probably go a little bit more, I'd probably go there. It's almost 45, but not really. What is that, you guys?
About 30.
I'd probably go 30 degrees. So I give my root pass a 30-degree travel angle, and it should go in good, okay? Now, look now at the work angle. What do you notice about the work angle, Nick? So we're gonna go with the root of a 30-degree travel angle.
The 90.
What's that work angle?
90 to the
The
base.
90. You guys aren't used to doing that. Jonah said, Ron, if you hadn't told me welding horizontals, I would have brought it down like that. Yeah, Jonah?
Yep.
And try to hold the weld what? Up. You don't do that on root passes. Jared will tell you guys, on every root, he wants you to run a 90-degree work angle. That means you always go straight in on the roots, but I'm gonna put a 30-degree travel angle on it. Does that make sense, you guys?
Hell no.
Okay, so watch. Give me your plates, Ivan. Okay, remember, we have to be able to distinguish that in our head, right? Now watch. Here's your horizontal weld. You're gonna go 90 on the work angle, 30 on the travel, and run it straight across. That's what we're looking for, okay? That's how you do the root. Why do we do 90 on the work angle? It's to keep equal heat to both plates. There you go, Cruz. Way to step up, kid. Okay, now, that root's gonna go in there, because you guys are you're getting your fit up all dialed in and your heat, right? You're making your game of what? Okay, so, I get that root pass put in there, done. We're welding pretty thin plate, aren't we? So Greg says, guys, it's already ready to cap by the time you get your root pass put in there. He'd be right. If it was thicker plate, then he would have to. Remember in Trenton's quals class with stick, he has you guys run hot passes, fills, and caps. Because that plate is what? Thicker, okay? It's only 1/4 inch, so you're already ready for capping, guys. Now, what a diagram and a book shows is this. 1, 2. Now the first thing we're gonna look at that diagram, and Jared's gonna say, I'm not buying what that diagram's selling. Look in any book on a horizontal V group diagram and they'll draw it just like that. We would say they're liars. Why, Jared? Happened on cap 1, Jared, look close.
It's not high enough.
Look at cap 1.
Drooping a little. It's way over the middle of the.
Okay, here is my industry trick for you guys. Don't believe every diagram you see. What I'm going to tell you guys is, when I put in cap number 1, this is what I look for. What do you guys notice?
Right to the bevel.
I'm not letting the puddle do what on the bottom edge? Overlap. And Cruz is like, wait a sec, Hackney, you just said to see it overlap. Yeah, in what position, Cruz? In flat. Gravity is working with you. Horizontal, it's not. So what happens is, guys, is this. And everybody always says, well, Ron, what do you look at when you're putting in the bottom cap? It's very, very simple. They say, where do you put the MIG wire, Hackney? So watch. Okay, you guys see my MIG gun going in there, right?
Yes.
Did you guys know, I don't even know where I'm putting the MIG gun. That's the crazy thing, because I'm busy watching the puddle. So watch, when I put in cap number 1 on the bottom, if I see it overlapping that edge, all as I do is raise the, what am I raising? Wire. I'm changing my wire placement. You guys, I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't know who taught you your foundation, but work angle does not move a weld. Did you hear what Burrell just said? That's a typical beginner thing, and it's not against him. He said, Ron, if you see that weld overlapping, all you have to do is change your work angle. That's not going to do anything. All that's going to do is ensure that he doesn't get under. Remember, guys, work angle only affects undercut. So if he sees the puddle overlapping down here, he raises his MIG gun, meaning brings his wire higher until he barely sees it touch, but don't overlap. Does that make sense? Now, when you flip up your hood, you saw it barely touching that edge, right? But when you flip up your hood, guess what gravity did for you? It gave you actually the overlap you need. If you actually see it overlapping on the cap and you flip up your hood, it's going to be double that, because gravity is pulling it what? Down. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, this is what happens with you guys coming off of butt lap and tees. Watch this. I want to show you what happens. Okay, do you guys see right there, do I have excessive work angle?
Yes.
Greg, whatever happens, I'm definitely not going to get what on the top toe of that weld? Undercut. Man, you're not going to get undercut, Greg. But he's giving it so much work angle, guess what he's going to get on the bottom toe? Cold lap. You guys never learned the foundation of welding in intro. You know what this is gonna do? It's gonna give you a weld that looks like this. Have you ever done a weld out of position that looks like that? See how that bottom toe's not laying flat? It's because you're giving it excessive working. We call that collap. And collap equals lack of fusion. That's what they're going to hit you on. They're going to say, Greg, you got collap. In other words, since you got collap, we know you got lack of fusion. That's what they're going to say. They're going to put an x-ray machine right there, and guess what? The x-ray is going to say the same thing. So, what I'm trying to tell you guys is excessive work angle to fix undercut can give you cold lap. Now, Trent's guys just came in. They were practicing 2G today. Man, were those kids messing up. And they didn't know it, and that's okay. They got their root pass in. When they went to do their cap, look how they did their cap. What do you guys notice? Did they do it in a 2 bead like I'm having you, or did they do it in a 1 bead? They did a single bead. They said, Ron, we thought you were supposed to do it in a single bead. That's what we did it in flat. No, you cannot carry that amount of metal. That's what any welder will tell you. So, what are the 2 causes for getting collap? Excessive work angle, or you're carrying too much metal by going too slow. That's why we're running a multi-bead cap and not a single bead cap. What do you got?
Is it whipper paw still, or is it still circles, or?
No more circles and horizontal. Now you're not even whipping and pausing. Now I just want you to do whips with no pause. Trick of the trade. That way, if I just whip and don't pause, look at me whip, guys, I'm doing my cap. That weld size, is it going to be big or small? Small. It's going to be small. Weld sizes don't get big until you whip out and drop back and actually what? Pause. There's one drawback to whipping. I'm going to whip with no pause to keep my weld size small, yeah? But the ripples, you guys, instead of them being U, they're going to be slightly what? V. And that's okay. I know your intro teachers taught you, V's mean it's bad, you need to slow down. No, that's only an intro stuff. Sometimes you want a little bit of a beat. Does that make sense? So here's the tricks. We know the trick is we're going to multi-bead it instead of do a single bead. Why, Cruz?
Because you can't carry it. My bad. My bad, dog.
But you're right. You're waiting on the man.
My bad, dog.
He didn't think I was going to call him. I always catch you when you start a day what? Daydream. I just have that niche. 20 years of teaching. So why are we running a multi-bead over a single bead pass, Cruz? You don't want to carry that much metal because you will get cold, lap. What else causes cold lap, Cruz? Excessive work angle, okay? And B, we're going to whip with no pause so we carry less metal. But the problem is that it will come up with slight V's in the ripples, and that's okay. Makes sense? Okay. Chris Burrell already said that we're going to go until we see the puddle touch this edge, but not actually what? Overlap. Do not overlap it, okay? Now, let me show you the problem with people that overlap too, Jonah. Let's say Jonah's not paying attention. He's whipping and he's not pausing, but he's got his wire put too low on that fit up. He doesn't even know where it is. And he sees it overlap, okay? So he thinks he's good. Bead looks sweet. Problem is, you put your weld so low, instead of getting it done in one more weld, he's got such a big area, he's got to do what now?
3B.
He's got to throw a 3B. Same thing in Trenton stick class too, you guys. See the bottom weld touch it, but not what? Trick of the trade in 2G. All the greenhorns used to always say, Hackney, how do you get yours capped and horizontal and one less weld? It's easy. You're letting the bottom weld get too what?
Low.
Too low. Now to you guys, It doesn't matter. It's a 6-inch qualls plate, yeah? So let me tell you what matters to a foreman. Burrell's on the job. He's got 700 feet of weld. Everybody else threw a 2-bead. He threw a 3-bead. 700 feet were the 3rd bead. How slow is he?
Way slower.
He's 4 hours slow. It's going to take you 4 hours to do 700 feet of a 3rd bead, will it not? They're already moved on, and he's working by himself, and everybody that walks by him just kind of staring at him. It happens to young people on the job. Not on your plates. It's a 6-inch qualls plate. But in the real world, hours worth of work. Do you guys understand? So that's why you don't want to put that bottom weld too low, because then you're going to be forced to throw a 3rd bead, because the area is too big to get it in that 2nd bead. You'd have to go too slow. See, if Cruz put it too slow, then he starts getting silly again, right? He's already messed up once, hasn't he? How'd he mess up, Jonah?
Put it too low.
Put it too low. You know what Cruz says to himself? He's already made one bad mistake. I'll just go really slow and fill it up.
Yeah.
All right, you'll fill that baby up, but now you're going to get cold.
Lap.
Tell me how it works out for you. You're welding with the big dogs now. You got to know the tricks of the trade if you're going to go into the code industry. What do you got, Greg?
So where we place the second?
The second wire, what I do, Greg, is I couldn't tell you. What I do is I'm watching the puddle, yeah? And if I see the crown of the second weld I'm putting in, see how the toe is going past the crown right here?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I have it put too low. So what I do is I just keep raising it up until I see the toe of I'm putting in go to the crown.
The second one. The next one you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So you did that one already.
Okay, so that one's good.
Yeah.
Now what I do is I'm putting in my weld, and I watch the bottom toe of the weld I'm putting in right now. And as soon as I see it hit right down the middle, I know my wire placement is what? Perfect. So what part of the puddle is Greg telling you guys to watch when you're putting in all these welds?
So,
The bottom toe. Just the bottom toe. I'm looking at the width of it through the peripheral vision that I have like this. I'm just looking at it that it's about the right size. But what I'm watching is I watch the bottom toe touch that edge. I watch the next bottom toe touch the crown. You've got to pay attention. What do you got,
You're not
Charlie?
gonna have collab if you.
As long as you're whipping and you don't pause and you don't carry a lot of metal, you will not get cold out. Some of you do not listen. Some of you all have guys in here doing circles, whipping pause, and you're going to come in and it's going to look like this. Boom! Look at that, you guys. Jared, fix them! Which weld did they carry way too much metal on?
That's 2nd.
They either carried way too much metal or they had excessive work angle. Either way, they had enough on either one to give you cold lap. Cold lap is lack of fusion. Hear how you keep hearing it over and over, and you got to memorize this. And if I were you guys, I would title my notes 2G, and I would write all these tricks down and memorize them. I would call it 2Gs, tipsandtricks.com, because you will forget it. You're going to start getting this stuff confused with 3G, 4G. The further we go, you're just going to get more what? Confused. That's what you don't want to do. You've got to be organized as a learner. Guys, I need you to meet me halfway to get you good. If you cannot get good at C&M, you cannot be a welder. We are one of the best in the nation. How could you not get good here? But you got to meet me halfway. You can't just show up, half effort, have fun, and leave. You actually got to put in time and work. What does your generation say? Grind? I hear you young people always say, oh, you got to grind, baby. I haven't seen grinding yet at nighttime. I've seen softness, and I've seen goofing around with mediocre welding compared to the daytime. Would you guys agree? Burrell come to the daytime, he's like, oh my God, these guys are way different. Everybody's taking notes. Everybody's asking questions. They're just more on point. You cannot let them beat you guys. You can't. They're not better welders. They're just more disciplined because Trent and I whipped them in shape from day what? One. We've had them since they started. They're not better than you. So quit laying down and letting them be better. Oh, Jonah, if you ever say, oh, it's Cyborg, he's good. What, are you a cheerleader? Are you a welder too? Do you see what I'm saying? You got to step up and say, I can play the game with you. It's pride, man. So you guys see where we're going with this. But as a learner, Greg's like, guys, you got to get organized. It's one thing right now to say, oh my God, we are way behind. It's another, like Burrell is. The man is organized with his notes. He's writing 2G, tipsandtricks.com. He just got done with 1G, everything. He's putting in his notes why we're running multi-beads, not single bead passes. He's learning that collapse is caused by one or two things. What is it?
Your work angle or
Excessive work angle,
or you're running it too slow.
or you're carrying too much metal. I want you guys talking like a welder. Yeah, it means you're going too slow. You guys see how this is? So this is how we got them organized from day one, and then they have flashcards. And you should see, Burrell come in, they're quizzing each other. Cool that! And they'll give it to them fast, boom, and they'll move to the next one. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys aren't like that. You're too laid back, you know? You're cool people, though. But you're too what, Chavez?
Laid back.
You're too laid back, man. This is work. Treat it like work. It's education. Okay, now, you guys, this is what I want to see. Now, give me the work angle, Greg, on the root. Tell me when.
No.
Done. He's right. 90-degree work angle. What's my travel angle?
30.
30. Now watch this. What do you guys notice he's doing with his wire?
Wire placement.
He's touching the bevel edges, but he's not going on them. If you get up on your bevels like that with the wire, it's going to stop pen trading. So remember, I told you, don't get up on the bevels with that wire. So he's doing this, right? Okay, he went straight in. Now watch this. This is where Trent and I differ. For years when I was Trent's teacher, when you go to put in cap 2, look at the work angle now. What was I giving it that much work angle for? So I didn't do what to the top toe of the weld? Undercut it. Problem is when I gave it that kind of work angle, not to undercut on weld number 2, what was I getting on the bottom toe? Cold lap. You know what I learned, you guys? I taught Trent and Manny this way. I said, guys, give me 5 to 15 down. Too much cold lap started coming in. You know what I learned, you guys, as I got better even? Watch this. And it's going to be different than what Trenton taught you. What do you guys notice? I go 5 up. Believe it or not, to cap it, I go that way. And you're like, are you kidding me, Ron? Wouldn't I get a little bit of undercut right here? No, you won't. You got to trust me on this. I actually have a ledge that's going to hold that weld up, so you will not get undercut. Now, what kind of travel angle, Nick?
Well, for your up is...
It's 5 degrees.
5.
Yeah, so think of this, Nick. You put in the root at 90, right? Now I can bring 90 to the second one and just go 5 degrees up. Now watch this. Cruz, tell me when you think my cap is right. So I bring it up to where I'm going to place it. Greg's watching the bottom toe touch the... Okay, he's coming too low. What does he need to do? Move the wire up. It moves up. Now his placement is good. Now tell me when my work angle is correct.
So you only change it on the bottom?
I form the letter what?
Yeah.
X. That's what I look for. This is dirty. This stuff you can't find in a book, Greg.
Is that 5 down then?
I would go 15 down.
15 down?
I would. So watch, you guys. If you just form the letter X with your work angles on each pass, it'll come out money, right? So watch. Jonah, work angle for the root, fast.
90.
Jonah, for the bottom one,
Up 5.
up 5. Trenton and Stick is going to tell you down 5. He will. Try it my way, though. Do it 5 degrees, and then do it his 5 degrees, and see which toe you like better on the bottom cap in 2G. Bet you like mine. There's a reason why I changed, okay? So, straight in, 5 degrees. Now the last one, you guys, I'm gonna tell you, Greg said, Ron, is it 5 degrees down? Is it opposite? No, I wanna go 15 degrees. So this one is at 5 degrees. This one is 15, and there's a reason. Because I can't take a chance on getting under, so you have to give it more work angle. That's right. Do you guys see how the game's played? So the bottom bead is 5 degrees what, Greg? Up. The top bead is 15 degrees. So I'm giving the top bead a lot more work angle because I can't take a chance, Cruz, on getting what on the top toe? Undercut. So you've got to give it 15 degrees. Okay, Burrell taught you a lesson if you were listening. He even said, work angle does not do what to a weld? It does not move a weld. A weld will only move if you're putting it in the wrong place if you move the what? The wire or the rod. A weld will only move if you move the rod or the wire. Work angle does not move a weld. Work angle only fixes undercut, period. An excessive work angle, Cruz, can give you cold lap or what? Or no, or too slow of a travel speed can give you cold lap. Do you guys see how this works? Now, if you were gonna throw a 3-bead cap in horizontal, you're smart people, guys. Trenton said it best to one class. Jonah, I'm not asking you to think like me, just think. Quit worrying about what you're gonna do tonight with your girlfriend. Quit worrying about where you're gonna eat some dinner and start focusing on what?
The work.
Work. You're at work, okay? Okay, so here we go. We want to throw a 3-bead cap. Remember, guys, those guys that went to Vestas, they had to do a horizontal bead group with a 4-bead cap. So watch this. Root passes are always what? 90. Now, you guys, we're going to cap it, right? Okay, let's say we're going to do a 3-bead cap because the area is real big. It's bigger than what you guys have. So 3-bead is normal. Jonah, tell me when my work angle is right.
There.
There, 5 degrees down. And see it not what?
Not overlap.
Down. Okay, now, I move the rod up right when I start welding. Oh, it's the toe of that one is below the crown. What do? Raise it up. Okay, good. Now it's to the center. Now, if you're gonna throw a 3-bead cap, look at what I did with the middle bead. All middle beads are always straight what? In. So this one was 5 degrees this way. If you were going to throw one straight, and then this one, the top bead is your money bead. That is always what? 15. Your money bead, which is your last weld of a multi-pass, is always going to be what? 15 degrees to avoid undercut. Because if you guys get undercut on a bead on the top cap, you have to throw another what?
Bead over.
Another bead. What if it's 70 feet? That's 4 hours worth of work. So on your money weld, which is what, Cruz? Your last multi-bead, the one that everybody what? You better put more work angle towards the top bead. So it's always 15 degrees.
That goes the same for if you're filling it with thicker metal?
If it was thicker metal, that would be your fills too. So if Greg was going to do this, watch. I'm going to draw a diagram for you to make sure you guys have this, okay? I'm going to draw something you've never done. I'm going to draw you a super coupon 1-inch thick plate. I'm going to draw the welds for you. Okay, R stands for what? Root. Burrell, give me the work angle. 90, done. Jonah, give me the work angle on a hot pass.
90.
Done. Cruz, give me this one on F.
There. 5 degrees.
There?
Other way.
Really?
There.
You guys buy what he's selling?
You had it right, Doc. You had it right the first time.
Yeah, hey. If you do 5 degrees up like this on the cap, wouldn't you do 5 degrees up this on the fill? All the bottom row, this one, and this one, they're all 5 degrees up, up, up. The center ones are all straight 90s. All the top caps,
15 degrees.
this one and this one are all what?
15
15 degrees, 15 degrees. So always keep it like this. If it's in the center, you go straight in. If it's on the bottom leg of the bevel, you always go 5 degrees up. Anything touching the top one, always go 15 degrees.
Yeah.
How hard is that? You just got to memorize it. Centers are straight, bottoms are 5, tops are 15. How hard is that in horizontal? And that's with every welding what? Process. It doesn't matter if it's MIG, TIG, or stick. When Trent gets to you guys in horizontal, stick, it's the same way. So all you got to remember is straight, 5, or 15. How hard is that? It's not hard. You guys okay? All right. We don't have enough time for me to demo, but now you got all the tipsandtricks.com. Tell them the tips and tricks that we learned. It's not in a book or a video.
Work angle.
Okay, don't put excessive work angle on something because you'll get cold, because you're trying to avoid undercut. We know why you're doing it. Don't run a single bead when you probably should run a multi-bead. In other words, don't carry a lot of metal because you'll get cold at, right? Jonah, what's another thing you learned?
You see the travel angle.
Travel
Okay,
angle
but-
on the root is always going to be 30. After that, you're not going to get whiskers, and now what do? On every weld after the root. Travel angle, anybody? Okay, what I always do, guys, my roots are 30 on the travel angle so I don't get whiskers, right? After that, I always give them like a 5 degree, that's it. I do a 5 degree pull on any bead, that way you're not giving it so much travel angle that it crowns up. You want it to lay flat. The only way to lay a weld flat is by giving it less travel angle. So after the root, it's always 5 degrees travel angle after that. Do you guys understand? Okay, Nick, what'd you learn?
The tips with angles.
Okay, so he's got his angles. He said anything on the bottom side of the bevel is always what?
Bottom 5 degrees up.
5 degrees up. It's going to be opposite of what Trenton teaches you. Jonah, you learned that all centers are
90.
90. And Nick, you learned that all the top bevel edges, 15 down because we don't want undercut. We're not going to get cold lap on the top welds. We'll only get them on the bottom ones. You got to trust me on this, okay? Secondly, we learned that on the very bottom cap, you better not let it overlap. Good. You guys know all the tips and tricks. And then Chavez caps it off by saying, guys, whatever you do, most of your horizontal welding, welders try to avoid cold lap, so they increase their travel
Speed.
so V's are very good. They're common. As long as you're not going so fast to where the weld doesn't tie in on the toes. Now you're thinking. You got to get your head in it. It's not as easy as just going and welding, is it? And it's not as fun. But guess what? You memorize it, and it gets fun out there because now you're actually doing something that looks what? Looks sweet. Doesn't look like yard. Does that make sense? What'd you guys have back there, Nick? Did you have a question?
Had one, they got answered.
What's that?
Had one, got answered.
Okay. Do you guys understand though? So now Burrell's going to make a tipsandtricks.com on what position welding? 2G. And he's going to memorize it forever. Is this for MIG, TIG, and stick?
Yes.
Yes. That's what's cool about Qual's classes. I'm giving you all the tips and tricks so when Trent lectures about it, you're like, got it. We don't even need a lecture on 2G. We know everything. Go faster. See the bottom edge, touch it but not overlap it. The work angles, travel angles, they're all the what?
Same.
They're all the same. How could you not get good? All he's got to do is memorize one flashcard. And it's for good. Is it TIG? MIG? Stick? Works for everything. In what position? 2G. You guys okay? So now what we're going to do, you guys got about 15 minutes to play the game. You could probably cut these back apart, redo your openings, redo your landings, and you probably could get them tacked maybe in 15 minutes. And then get it ready for 2G next class. Does that make sense? Can you guys handle this cheese? Does your grade represent where you're at? Who was kind of hurt when you got your grade? You should be a little hurt. John, are you a low 80er?
What's that?
Are you a low 80er?
No.
You've never gotten anything less than a what? Say it, a 90. None of you have. But it's real world grade. And keep doing what you're doing, I'm gonna drop you to a what? I'll drop you into the 70s if I need to. You will hate me, but someday you will come back and hug me when you get 6 figures. And you'll be like, you were mean, but you were right.
When you get 6 foot.
Dude, you'll be 6'3". You'll be taller than Burrell. You wanna know how? The stacks of hundreds you make you a step stand with it and say, look at that, Burrell. Call me Big Poppy now. Okay, let's get your guys' grades. Now listen to me on
Hey,
one
we ain't got time. We got to clean up.
What time? Oh, class is over at 5:45. You ain't got no time. But starting to save these, because we'll cut them down for your practice ones, okay? If you don't want to yell your grade out, all you got to do is come up here and give it to me, okay?
You give me
Jared Tafoya.
Friday.
Jared Tafoya. He was in here. What'd you get, son?
90.
You got a cold, Jared?
This weekend, yeah.
Stay away from me. Chris. Isaiah Chavez. John Hedera. John Hedera.
85. Hey, y'all related?
Ivan.
85.
Nick. Okay, you're gonna finish. So Nick, until you finish that, you need to get her done, okay? Chris.
70.
What'd you get?
70.
Okay, because you know we love you to death. Hey, tell him I need a good helper. He's salty right now, huh? Hey, you understand why it was a 7-0 cruise? Learn from it, dude. Make your game a what? Tighter opening, bigger landing, turn your settings down, increase your travel speed. One or the other, right? Big!
90.
And everybody's got to call you Big Poppy until you guys beat him.
I disagree.
And he wants you guys to bring his favorite dish. Ready?
Yeah. It's a
Jonah.
little weird.
Eddie.
Little poppy. I think it's a poppy. that's
Gilbert
a pop.
Zamora.
I'd be cool with calling it like Big Dog or something.
Okay. Let's go do our cleanup, guys. Burrell's right. It's done.
I gotta go slash brakes, tires.